Hi there, this is Praying Medic, and this is Thursday, January 18th. Welcome to my news update. Hey, guess what? Q just dropped some posts on 8chan. I'm going to read them to you later on. I'll do the news first, and then I'll do the latest Q posts. Denise just made me aware of them. So, let's start out with some more good news. The Senate Judiciary Committee, thank you, Chuck Grassley, just sent 17 more judges to the full Senate for confirmation votes. That is in addition to the 17 that they sent through on Thursday and Friday of last week. So they just sent through 34 nominations for judges in the last 3 days. Well, let's see, in the last week. Apple has committed to spending $350 billion in the next 5 years, and they have a target of creating 20,000 new jobs in the US as a result of tax reform. The tax reform bill is just making people so excited. It's crazy. In news of the weird, I just have to throw this out there. A psychic who charged someone $3.5 million for exorcisms. That was what I think their total income on charging for exorcisms was $3.5 million for a year. Just got thrown in prison for tax evasion. I personally do not charge when I kick demons out of people. I do it for free. You know, some people charge, but hey, if you're going to charge, pay your taxes. You know, just a pro tip there. Department of Health and Human Services announced they're creating a religious liberties division. And this is already being attacked by the LGBTQ community. Somebody asked me on Facebook today, rumors that, is it true that doctors won't have to treat transgender gays and lesbians? I said, no, that's not true. What this new Religious Liberties Division of Health and Human Services is intended to do, it is there to help doctors, nurses, and healthcare providers deal with persecution, harassment that is related to them not wanting to do procedures that violate their moral code of ethics. So there are some doctors and nurses who work in clinics where they're told they have to do, you know, gender reassignment or abortions or other procedures that they don't want to do because of their own religious convictions. So Health and Human Services has created a division that is going to help healthcare providers deal with those concerns. So that's kind of the straight scoop on that. Interesting news. Newsweek magazine had their New York office raided this morning by about 24 police officers from the NYPD, who reportedly took photos of their computer servers. I don't believe anyone was arrested, but this is interesting. Why would they be raiding and taking pictures of Newsweek news servers? The day after the fake news awards, by the way. Thank you for everyone who shared the fake news thread that I did last night. I appreciate that. It was a lot of fun. Now, on a possibly related news, I don't know. I just find it interesting. A CNBC news crew was arrested trying to bring a fake bomb, essentially an improvised explosive device, through the TSA at an airport. They were supposedly filming this little caper, and they got arrested. So I don't know if there's any connection with that. It's just odd that news agencies are having law enforcement problems today. The House Intel Committee has voted to release the Fusion GPS transcripts. Not unsurprising news. Dianne Feinstein last week unilaterally released the Senate version of Glenn Simpson's testimony on Fusion GPS. Different rules for the House and Senate. In the Senate, one person can unilaterally decide they're going to release testimony. That doesn't happen in the House. It has to be voted on. That's why Feinstein was able to release it by herself last week. This week they had to vote on it, and Democrats in the House Intelligence Committee voted in favor of releasing the Glenn Simpson testimony. Now, I'll get to a related story in just a few minutes, but first, Department of Justice unsealed 54 indictments today, charging 14 members of a Clarksville, Tennessee-based Mongols motorcycle gang with murder, drug trafficking, racketeering, and other crimes. This gang has been named one of the top 10 most dangerous gangs in America, and they got taken down big time. 54 indictments. You can find that on the DOJ website. I also have a link on my Twitter page if you want to read more about it. A U.S. Marshal was killed this morning outside of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, serving a warrant. There were also 2 police officers that were injured in gunfire exchange. If you would pray for those people, I would appreciate it. I know their families would too. This is something I posted on Twitter last night. Jeff Sessions has decided to appeal a California judge's ruling on DACA directly to the Supreme Court, instead of what they would normally do is appeal it to the Ninth Circuit Court, which has jurisdiction over California. Sessions is going to appeal it directly to the Supreme Court. He's going to bypass the Ninth Circuit. What that means is if the Supreme Court rules on this case, if they rule against DACA, it's game over for DACA. I mean, once the Supreme Court declares that DACA is unconstitutional, if they do, and look, if Sessions is appealing this to the Supreme Court, he probably knows how the court is going to rule on it. So I think that was a very strategic move to go around the Ninth Circuit. Have to see how that works out. Congress voted to reauthorize the controversial FISA 702 Act today. It went to the Senate. They approved it. It was a pretty big margin of approval. And just to let you know, there are some changes. Devin Nunes, who knows all about the FISA 702 abuse, put in some new provisions into this, the FISA renewal, that will require more oversight, and it will also require them to get warrants in cases where previously they didn't have to have warrants. So the FISA 702 is going to be more tightly controlled, more tightly monitored. It has, but the head has been approved. And look, you know, they need this tool. It is valuable in helping stopping terrorism. I mean, there's a use for it. It's just been abused. And we're going to learn a lot more about the 702 abuse very shortly. That kind of brings me to my spotlight for tonight. There is and a lot of different agencies, news outlets are reporting on this, that Republican lawmakers have voted and are demanding that the House declassify and release a 4-page memo that I believe was created by Devin Nunes in the House Intelligence Committee. And it describes the government's surveillance abuses by the DOJ and the FBI. Several different representatives from the House Intel Committee have spoken out. Mark Meadows said this. He said, "It's troubling, it's shocking. Part of me wishes I had not read it because I don't want to believe that those kind of things could be happening in this country that I call home and that I love so much." Matt Getz said he believes people are going to lose their jobs after the memo. The Sarah Carter report, she talked to several people who are familiar with the issue. She said it could shut down the Mueller investigation when the information comes out that is probably going to implicate. See, Mueller's investigative team has very high-ranking people in the FBI and DOJ. Those are the people that are going to be implicated in this illegal surveillance of the president and private citizens. And when the dirt comes out, his team will probably, a lot of them will end up in jail, I'm guessing. This is a bombshell. It is If you've been following my broadcasts and you've been following Sundance, The Last Refuge, we've been following this, where it's going. We're calling it the Big Ugly. Some very, very damaging information is coming out on high-level people in the DOJ and the FBI who weaponized their departments, illegally spied on people. There is a massive story that's about to break. Now, Q told us last weekend, big news week, big news coming, big news is coming, baby. The storm is here. So let me read to you some of the posts that Q put up on 8chan today.
So I just figured out who Adam Schiff is.
Oh, AS is Adam
AS
Schiff.
is Adam Schiff.
Thank you,
According to
baby.
the people in our Q&A.
Right on. So Q posted, this was 7:09 tonight, Eastern time, I'm guessing. Are you following the big news today? What a big news day. These people are really stupid. This will be the end of the D party. This will be the path forward with public outrage. To jail so many so-called untouchables. You know the people. You, the people, have power. Down she goes. Q. That's the first post. Here's the second post. What 19 people are currently meeting in a safe room, heavily guarded? Why did everyone leave their phones and all other electronic devices in room number 239? Why does it take the information going public before justice is served? I would guess some of those people are probably meeting in a skiff, and they're looking at the information that the House Intelligence Committee is putting out. And you can't take in phones or any devices. You can't take in anything. You can't bring anything in or take anything out of those rooms, a skiff. And I'm guessing what Q is hinting at is there's a whole lot of people that are in the skiff right now looking at this information. That's just my guess. Why does it take the information going public before justice is served? Let me answer that question. These charges are so damaging and so widespread that if the news came out and the people weren't aware of who the people were first and what was going on, there might be, well, first, some people wouldn't believe it, but there also could be a civil war, and we don't want that. So the information has to be leaked to the public slowly. That's what's going on. Why is the D party making every effort to block the release of this FISA classified info? Why did RR, Rod Rosenstein, plead to Paul Ryan moments ago to prevent the release of the information? Where is AS, Adam Schiff, I'm guessing? 8, there's a thing here, 8 in brackets, fired, brackets X, jailed, possible suicides, plus / TikTok, Q. That's the second post. Here's the third post. Fight, demand public disclosure, be loud, be heard. This is just the beginning. 2018 will be glorious. A lot of exclamation marks, Q. Third post, the Great Awakening, Q. And then there are some pictures. Honey, did you see the pictures?
No, I didn't.
Pictures of the Bushes. Pictures of the Pope, the Rothschilds, Soros, and some other, McCain, some other people. No, it's all right. If you're interested, you can just Google 8chan and the Great Awakening, and you can go there and look at this stuff yourself. So information is coming out. The storm is here, people. The storm is real. The storm is here. These people are going down.
Soros is in the picture with Rothschild.
Yeah. So I'm going to get off of here. I got to get this thing edited and get it up on YouTube. That is my news for today. Haven't had any interesting dreams over the last couple of days, but I'm keeping track of the news as much as I can. I'll probably have a longer broadcast for you tomorrow. I'm going to get off the air. Love you all. Take care. God bless. This is Praying Medic out.